Welcome to a very different episode of Digital Cortex. Ooh, that's scary.
It actually is a really weird mask.
It's so weird.
And I was like,
that's like the weirdest one, though.
If Z was here, I was gonna make him wear it.
We wouldn't even be recording him.
I know, but
he'd still wear it.
Could.
He'd still wear it.
In this case, we could. we would just leave it on him. We're like, you got to.
We just have to cut that mouth open a little bit more. He can have a straw for his beer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Ha ha! Like if I open my mouth, it sounds better.
You know what? That would actually be pretty cool if maybe we like painted the your cheeks and your lips and everything black.
Oh yeah. Then you can see.
Then you wouldn't be able to see shit.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, that's probably what you should do.
Yeah.
If you're going out with this mask, I'm gonna keep this thing though. I like this.
Hey, it's not a bad one.
I like yours too, dude. Yours just keeps blinking like crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's got like 3 settings, I think. This is supposed to be like stagnant.
Okay, yeah. So that's on.
But I think it turns off.
Okay, so that's solid.
Over time. I don't know. Yep, there it goes.
Okay, so it turned off.
So it only stays on for so long, or you just keep the blinking.
Oh, so you have to do blinking.
I guess you do one or the other.
What's the last one?
Blinking faster.
Oh. Just have a seizure.
Just have a seizure.
Actually, that's the craziest one. If you were like trick-or-treating or something, like, yeah, running around with that blinking... Oh, it's getting faster. I think it changes speeds.
No, I think that's it.
Is it? Maybe.
Yeah, you're just tripping.
Maybe.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Maybe because now you stop moving.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going fast.
I
do like the X's, though. I do like the lineup.
The X's are cool, and I thought I wouldn't be able to see as well, but no, I could still see pretty well.
What do you think they use for that, wire?
The wire?
The light wire.
No, it's just LEDs.
Is it? Is it just a string of... How cheap are those LEDs now?
LEDs are pretty cheap now.
Yeah.
Depending on the ones you get. Like there's some expensive ones, but they're in like everything now, so it's not too bad.
Like if you
especially these, like the lumens coming off of this isn't that bright, but it's bright enough for the darkness, you know.
Yeah, it does have a neon color, so it does look pretty good. But
I can see it in my reflection down there, but
because they're putting this technology on the mask, I mean, it's got to be pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just LED strips, and you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they're spread out enough, or if this is like like a fiber optic type.
Oh yeah, it's gotta be super cheap.
Because then they just have to light it up on one side, and it just goes and sees it all over, just like they used to do with those toys from when we were kids.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still have those, but they used to be like all lit up, and you could see like the light coming out from the little fibers and shit.
Yeah.
You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know which ones I'm talking about.
Everybody knows.
Which ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, dude, you look like you're gonna start the purge, dude.
I feel like I'm gonna start the purge, man.
Maybe we should have a purge.
I was yawning a second ago. No.
That movie was
ready for some.
It was such a crazy concept, but now I think more people are leaning toward.
More
purge.
people are like, you know what, a purge might be good for this society.
There's some people want to fuck up.
We can do purge.
You know what? Let me dim it.
On your side?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, looking pretty dark.
Now it'll be a lot more darker.
More darkness.
We need
darkness falls.
And rain on darkness. One out. Voila. Yeah, I can see your lights from your computer pretty good now too. You have those set, huh? To what color arrangement and everything
Oh yeah, I
happens?
have this set. I could set them different or set up specifics for like specific games and
You
shit.
should do like Halloween theme, like Christmas theme or something. Like you could have like green and red and stuff. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Is it hard to set, or
No, I don't
you can
think
preset
so.
them? You can preset them and then
It's
change it
just I
whenever you
haven't
want.
updated the software in so long, so it's always a little.
Oh,
But I could try.
oh yeah. If you had like an orange and black or something.
And I used to be able to do it with that keyboard too.
Yeah. Okay, I pushed it in a little bit, and I think I can control the jaw better now. But I think you can see my face more. So, but whatever. So it comes already with some presets, right?
Yeah, there's some presets. Like you can set it to liquid,
Yeah.
failed to start. Okay. That's the problem. I keep getting like a resetter. Abstract. Those are just like the scene.
Mm. Oh, it's off.
That's the Doom one. So if I was to like play a game, it would do something. This is
Oh,
Cyberpunk.
okay, okay.
This is supposed to be Pac-Man, but this is mainly for the keyboard. So it doesn't
Oh,
really do anything for me now because I don't have the keyboard.
oh.
You can set profiles and control the lighting like that. It's just
No, the original one you had is fine.
yeah, I gotta reset which ones go where. So everything that's coming through is normally just on hardware
Yeah.
from when I ran it, but I don't know. It updates and then it forgets. So I forget.
Oh, and then you got to redo the whole thing.
Yeah, you see, it's
Oh,
running right now, but it changed the profile. If I quit it, it'll go back to default.
oh,
So what's in the hardware, so it remembers,
huh.
which is just going through the colors. And you see how it didn't even recognize the RAM now. So the RAM got turned off. So yeah, I've got to fuck with it. I gotta fuck with it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It still has really good
it
lights.
is what it is. I mean, it should. It costs like a fucking fortune.
You know what's so weird? And that Meta company popped up on my feed the other day.
What do you mean?
The
Meta PC?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, remember we were talking about that like years ago?
yeah, because they're a computer builder out here in Phoenix.
Yeah, and so I was watching their little dude, they have a nice showroom and they
I think I applied for them and I never heard back.
yeah, that sucks too because even when I saw that they have all these pre-built ones, but you can come in and make your
Yes,
customization
right.
ones. But
And
yeah,
you have someone make it for you too.
dude, their shelf was nice. The pre-made ones, dude, anybody would be happy with those ones.
Oh yeah, they
But
look good.
but yeah, he was definitely showing custom ones where they can do designs on the glass and like all kinds of crazy.
You know what's really cool is I've seen people take the displays and they put the displays in the glass.
Oh,
So now you have like a monitor in your glass.
yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm trying to let me see if I can find them because they're on Instagram. So I should have saved their little intro. Actually, no, I'm trying to search.
I can get it here on the computer.
Let me see. Yeah, see if you can see if you can find them. I want to say I saved them in my like I followed their page, but maybe
They have a new retail store in Phoenix. That's what you probably saw. Yeah.
yeah. So they were kind of just walking through the whole.
Oh, they have a store in Phoenix and Gilbert now. They got
Oh,
two.
they're expanding.
I remember when they were just talking about coming here.
Yeah, yeah. We were. I forgot how we came across it, but we were like Meta PC, and then it just went down a rabbit hole. We were just looking at them.
Yeah.
They sound like a cool company.
Bands. Oh. Yeah, so some of these cases are, well, pretty much all of these cases, they're all these parts you could get yourself too and build it yourself, but
Yeah.
obviously sometimes it's just easier to have someone configure it for you.
Oh yeah.
And especially if you live here, I mean, if you got an issue, you could just bring it to them instead of shipping it or something,
Yeah,
I mean that works out.
There is a lot. It feels like more and more lost art of actually walking around and browsing things.
Yeah.
Because every now and then I'll go to Best Buy and...
And that's what you used to do, when like online sales and shit came out, you were like, I want to try the product. You would go to Best Buy. Best Buy was your showroom for Amazon.
You could pick it up. You could actually look at the actual physical item.
Right. You'd be like, okay, this is the one I want, and I'm going to go get it here. And then that's when Best Buy started price matching them and shit.
Yeah. And, pick up the laptop, open it up. Maybe the stereo, you want to pick it up and see, oh, okay, I can take this. Yeah. Remember those speakers with the stereo?
I got to take this off because it's starting to make me feel claustrophobic. Oh, jeez.
Those stereos that were like 3 pieces, like the middle hub and then the 2 speakers connected to the sides of it, and you can take the speakers off. And
oh yeah, I still have one of those.
Yeah.
I got one in the garage. I should set it up. It's just sitting in a fucking cabinet in there.
All right. That does feel better.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Should we turn the lights back on then, huh? What do I do with the remote?
Oh, we could rock it like this. This is our special. If you want to, or you want to put them on.
I don't know. I can't see shit anymore. I put the sunglasses.
Okay, just leave it off, dude. Fuck it. You see what you see. This is a dark episode.
What does it look like on your side?
It looks good. See shit. Dude, I can see you on the...
Because of the polarized lens, I can't see anything on this display.
You got lighting.
I mean, yeah, you're lit, I think. I mean, it looked fine from the mask earlier.
Yeah, it'll be the same.
I think.
I turned the light off, but... Yeah,
I think the only problem with this mask, like, I like that it's got foam on the inside. A lot of them are just plastic,
Yeah.
But this has got, like, foam. And it's probably just to cover up the cables and shit. But it's comfortable until you start breathing. Because then it's like all hot inside.
Ooh, I wonder if you can make some more air holes then.
You probably could just open up the lips. But then, I mean, are your lips stitched together anymore? No.
Yeah.
Authenticity has gone.
Well, it should be lips, right? So you should be like, look, your lips, you're trying to open them, like they're like sewed shut, so you have to keep it only open so much. Like, you could still work with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I like it.
It's definitely worth the price that I fucking paid for it, dude.
I could probably. How much did you pay for it?
I think it was like $10 or $15 or something.
That is not too bad
for all that tech, and it's not really built for talking. Like, we're trying to talk.
No, yeah, but you can't hear shit probably.
It was muffled when you were talking because
was it?
You need those air holes. That will allow sound to go through too. But yeah, for the price and everything, like, come on, it's got pretty good tech in it, man. And this is here. Feel this one, dude. This one's actually like.
Oh wow, that one is thick.
Like, try that one on, dude. That one is way more comfortable. Because I tried on, I didn't try that one on, but that one has a lot more. It's different.
That's
tech.
So cool. The spring is not even a spring; it's just elastic.
Yeah, they figured that shit out, man.
Let's see.
But it's a big skull face, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll take this one. It probably fits you even better.
Oh yeah, a little bit. I don't know. I can't do that.
Yeah. Oh, see, yeah. See how mine kind of fit in there? Like, dude, I have a big fucking head, dude. I have a lot of jaw and head, dude. This is, yeah, you definitely have to be like a bigger face person, whatever you want to call it.
Most definitely, you need a little bit of a bigger head.
Yeah, because it fits right on my jaw, and I can just kind of, I still have to exaggerate like to open up my mouth, but it fits good. I rarely find masks that actually fit me good, so
Well, it's a
that's
good thing you
kinda-
got that one. And that one looks like it could last a bit too, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to show you. Like the plastic and even the cushions on it and everything, like you said on yours, they actually made it so I could put this away in a container and bring it out next year, and it should be okay. It's
Most definitely.
it's weird how shit breaks apart though, like over time.
Deteriorates, yeah.
You ever seen like the old like Batman like costumes and stuff like that? How they're like kind of
Oh, yeah.
they're all kind of deteriorating.
Yeah, they're just falling apart.
Because this is what like plastic and foam and like.
Yeah, it was foam and
Some kind of material.
I can't remember.
Yeah, they said the name when I was watching a video and they were like showing the old historic like cows and stuff like that because they have like a whole Batman cows room.
Yes, because you can go tour the DC museum.
Yeah, and it's really
or
cool.
the Warner Brothers Museum.
And they have to keep it all temperaturized and stuff like that. And then they started kind of, I don't know if it was in that video or another one, they were showing other old historic costumes and how they're falling apart and how there's like art, like groups that kind of try and preserve that, like film and art, like kind of organizations that try to save, they'll get costumes and stuff like that from old films from people like Princess Leia's like outfit from Star Wars, and like they'll just kind of collect, like there's collectors, there's organizations that collect all that stuff so they can preserve it, because all that material, all that stuff, if it's not kept right, it just starts to fall apart.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what they learned, and at the time they weren't thinking like we needed to preserve it.
Yeah, we don't need it for 50 years.
Because a lot of the time with this stuff, it would just sit in a fucking Warner Brothers warehouse.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was just for the film. They film it and then keep it for a while. But some of these movies become iconic and classic, and like, Dorothy's red shoes and stuff like that.
Oh, yes.
Like it's become like a part of the culture.
Urethane foam.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. So they were just molded around the actor's face.
Sculpted specifically for Keaton.
Yeah.
It's made of urethane.
Like they have Keaton's original Jordans that he wore that they modified for the bat suit. Because if you look at Tim Burton's Batman, he's wearing Jordans, which is really cool.
Of who's Batman?
Michael Keaton. His shoes were Jordans.
Was they really?
Yeah, they modified them. They're like, dude, they're like one of the holy grails. Like if you can get like these kind of shoes, like the originals, like in the shoe world, I'm partly in the shoe world. I have maybe a foot in it. I'm not totally dipped into that culture, but I know I got some Jordans. And yeah, once you go down that rabbit hole, you start finding a lot of like really cool. Did you pull up an image of it?
I did. I just can't see it.
Oh, yeah, take the glasses.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're really cool.
Oh, yeah. They were Nike Air Trainer bat boots.
Yeah, that's what they called them, but they were Jordans, right? What, Jordan 7s or something like that?
Pictures right now. Let's see
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, see what they were.
What shoes was Keaton wearing?
What
Jordan 6 boots.
6, not 7s.
Custom Jordan 6 boots. What do those look like? Not custom.
Yeah, look up Jordan 6's, was it, when was that film made? 1990, whatever.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
They're a big shoe. So you can see why they wanted to use it for...
I can definitely see someone being like, you know what? That's perfect.
Yeah, I need a big shoe. I need it to connect to the bottom of a suit.
Because it looks like, like a fucking hiking shoe or some shit.
It's thick. It's got a lot of ankle
and then all they
it.
had to do, I'm sure it was way comfortable for him. It's probably the most comfortable part about that entire suit.
Yeah,
with
dude.
a fucking soul.
He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna wear these Jordans. You know, but even back then, Jordan didn't have like it was big, but it wasn't that big. You know, like it was just another kind of shoe. You know, you had Adidas and you had
Yeah.
Converse and you had all these Reebok. So I mean, they were just another shoe. But now Jordan's brand has just become bigger and bigger and bigger over the years. So now people are like, what? Batman was wearing Jordans? You know, like so it becomes like a whole like
A whole fucking thing.
yeah.
I wonder how many they made too. They usually make quite a few of these just to have backups and stuff.
Yeah,
Trial
so
and errors and
probably
whatnot.
3-4 different
Yeah.
pairs that they had on
Sometimes they
set.
do a lot. Like I think they made about like 5 of the cowls or 6 of the cowls.
Yeah, what's crazy? I remember Toby Maguire going on right. Toby Maguire, Spider Man. Am I saying his name right? Why did I
Yeah,
think-
Tobey Maguire,
I don't know why.
the 2000 Spider-Man.
He was on Conan or Jay Leno. I can't remember who he was on, but he was kind of promoting Spider Man 3, and they're like, oh yeah, they were talking about his outfit, his Spider Man suit, and he's like, yeah, I don't have one, and they're like, what? You're Spider Man, and you don't have a Spider Man costume in your house? He's like, no, the studio, they were supposed to give him one, but they never did. And just like, so like, he's like, no way. He's like, that's ridiculous. You don't have and then, so he kind of made a big deal about it, and they were all kind of laughing and joking about it. And then, sure enough, the studio sent him the Spider-Man costume.
Well, of course.
Yeah, because now they kind of looked like, they're like, oh man, Tobey Maguire doesn't even have a suit, you know, like, that's got to be something like if they come to you with the contract, like you're going to be so-and-so, like you got to put it in there somewhere. I want my own, I want one of the suits. Like
They usually do not let you take them.
Yeah. But
because
I know there's certain situations where they let the actors.
It's the property of it. Like, for example, it's famous that fucking Ryan Reynolds, he pretty much stole that
Deadpool
costume he's got. You know,
a
lot of people,
but
a lot
knew.
of actors will. You know, they want like some type of memory piece of the show.
Well, I think it was Sarah Jessica Parker that put it in her contract that she wanted the outfits from Sex and the City, like the outfits, because she always wore a different outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So
and those were nice.
Oh yeah, like designer.
They had to be because of what they were, you know.
Yeah, so I want to say she's one of the actors or actresses that put that in there. Like, so I feel like they could do something. Like, at least give me a genuine replica, you know, from the same costume maker or something. Even if it's not the on-set one, it's like having a jersey, a worn jersey or something from a baseball, you know, or football athlete or something like that. Like an actual worn one is way more valuable and cooler.
Right.
When
yeah, that makes sense.
When Emmitt Smith broke the rushing record, he changed his jersey 4 times. So so he can have a game worn one, because he's like, if I just have one, the Hall of Fame's going to take it. Like, yes, I already know they're going to take my shoes. They're gonna want that for the Hall of Fame because he was breaking the record.
Now, does that diminish the value if there's the multiples?
No,
or is one more valuable because it was worn during that moment?
He had a first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter.
And when did he break the record in the fourth quarter?
I think the one that he actually broke, I think he kept that one. But he had other jerseys from that day that he could give. So it's still from the same game. You can still say all the same things. It's a game-worn jersey from that day when he broke the record.
Yeah, but it's not the one he broke the record in.
I think the one that he did, they are crazy about it too. They microchip the jerseys electronically to make sure there's no fakes involved. Like they have authenticity people there. Like he had to hand it to somebody. They had like some kind of machine, and then they like injected it with some kind of microchip, and like, dude, like it was like a whole.
What the fuck,
dude? I'm telling you,
that's crazy.
They're serious about this, like, because fakes are real. Like they get duped all the time. Like they have stuff at auction that gets people think they're buying Jordan's jersey and it's a fake, you know, or something, you know. So
yeah,
that's the only
like
way.
The fucking serial numbers that they engraved into diamonds and shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Have you ever seen those?
the serial numbers.
Yeah, I had a jeweler once who was like talking to me about it. I was like, "That's so cool," and they were like, "Yo, yeah, you want to see?" And I was like, "Yeah." So they pulled out a fucking diamond for me to look at the different little etchings that they've done with lasers under a microscope and shit. And I was like, "That's sick."
Yeah. They try and keep a record because if their diamonds ever get stolen and they end up somewhere else, they can claim them back. So yeah, that would definitely be, especially for the really valuable ones. But yeah, so he had shoes. I think he even changed his pants too. Like he just changed his whole uniform like 4 times.
His pants.
Yeah, game worn pants, game worn shoes. I think even socks too. I don't know, but he just had different people he's going to give it to. I think he gave one to God, I can't even remember. I don't know if he gave one to the coach or if he gave one to the organization, and then he gave one to the Hall of Fame. He kept one, and then I don't know what he did with the 4th one. I don't know who he gave it to, but yeah, they were all spoken for because they all knew it was going to happen in that game. He was so close that it was going to happen, and it was really cool. But yeah, cool. I don't know why. Oh, we just started talking about outfits.
Yeah, we were talking about collectibles, I think.
Dude.
And then it moved into that.
So I was listening to these guys talk about Black Panther.
Okay, tell me about that.
I don't know. I didn't know all of his powers.
Oh, you didn't?
No, he can summon the undead?
In the comics, a lot of these heroes have different powers depending on who wrote them and what version. So, for example, the Amazing Spider-Man, he makes web shooters, okay?
Yeah.
But I think it's Spectacular Spider-Man, he does not make web shooters. Webs are actually come from
Andrew
him.
Garfield and the Tobey Maguire
difference, right?
Yeah.
It just depends on who they base it off of.
Yeah.
And then there's like powers from different artists and different writers can imagine the things slightly different. Sometimes they're more stronger when they're written by a certain character than if they're written by another character or another writer.
Yeah. There's different interpretations. Yeah. There's the Frank Miller,
right?
He likes to do some grainy, like real, like gruesome kind of like crazy stuff with his comics, and he'll take characters and make another Frank Miller version.
And that's why they do like some fucking crazy stuff too. Like someone will get a fucking idea and they'll just like put it out there. And they're like, okay, well, we're rechanging the fucking world now. Like, look at Robin, Jason Todd. He's the second Robin. Okay, so if you didn't know, there's been like 4 or 5 different Robins. The first being Dick Grayson, who graduated on to become Nightwing.
Okay,
he was very much, raised by Bruce. Lived that whole.
He was an orphan too.
Well. His deal is the classic one. So Bruce went to go see the circus and shit. He's a trapeze artist, trapeze family, and then his family circus or whatever, they owed money to some type of mob, and so they made them go up there without a net, or they cut the net off or some shit.
Yeah,
the Flying Graysons.
Yeah,
and so his parents, they died. Right there in front of his eyes.
And his brothers and sisters, right?
In the story,
in the original, it was
3.
It was just 3 of them.
Just 3. So his parents die. He's left alone, and Bruce saw this happen, and he felt so bad that he adopted him. But then he kind of just left him alone because he had to go do Batman shit, and he was like,
So he's still orphaned.
He's still pretty much orphaned until he starts trying to go solve the murder of his family and shit. And then Batman interferes, and then he learns Bruce Batman, and then he becomes Robin. And that's why his suit is modeled or is exactly the same as his Flying Grayson suit, which is why it's red and green and yellow.
I'm just thinking of a stupid Lego Batman movie.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
He was like, "Can I call you Papa?" Like, so dumb, dude.
I know.
Who was it? Michael Cera? Was he the one that played Robin? I don't
I
remember.
can't even remember, but it was so good. It was so good.
But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So, after a while, you know, he's always bumping heads with Bruce because they got conflicting things, and Bruce is never allowing people to get really into him like that and shit. And he's
Yeah.
totally. So
I'm a
anyway,
loner. Don't talk to me.
they decided to retire him. You know, you keep a kid so long that eventually you got to do something. Just this real quick. Okay. So, he ends up leaving to a different city, and I think it was for like school or something in the story or shit. And then he ends up
school.
becoming Nightwing, creating his own superhero persona. And so time goes by, Batman's solo for a bit, and then he goes back to the alley where he left his Batmobile one night, and he sees that his Batmobile's on cinder blocks, and there's a kid who is stealing the fucking tires from the Batmobile. And Batman's just like, this fucking kid, look at him.
The guts on this
That kid's got balls. And he's just seeing like this street orphan kid, and he's like, I'm going to collect kids now. So he adopts this one. And the fans did not care for Jason Todd as much. No. You know, I mean, you stay with one for so long, and you get this other one who's grumpy and it's got his own little problems and stuff, and all of that bullshit. And so they had this storyline where they had the fans vote. So it was like the end of an issue, and they expected the vote to go one way, and it didn't. So Joker kidnaps Robin. Batman's on his way to save him before the fucking warehouse that he kidnapped him in France or some shit blows up.
Yeah.
Right? And then so they voted, should Robin die or does Batman save him? And it was overwhelming that the fans voted to kill Robin.
Holy shit.
So they decided, all right, fuck it. So they beat the fuck out of him.
Whoa.
Joker like fucks him up.
Just beat him to death.
Yeah. And then Batman doesn't get there in time, and Robin's fucking dead.
And he's like, nah.
Yeah, and he feels bad. He could fly his fucking. Now they're like, how do we get this body across? Because, you know, how you explain that you took your adopted son cross country as Bruce Wayne, and then or to a different country as Bruce Wayne, and now you come back with no one. So they had to like make a fake body or some shit, or recover his body.
Oh, weird.
Mm-hmm. And then so they recover his dead fucking body from the explosion or some shit.
Yeah.
They get him back. They have a fucking funeral and everything, and he stays dead for a little bit until he comes back, like they do. So Raj Al Ghul feels bad for the whole situation, and he uses a Lazarus pit, which he's been using to keep himself young and live forever. But he uses it to bring back Jason Todd from the dead, but makes him go a little cuckoo, right? So he runs away, and he's like, ah. And now he feels like Batman has betrayed him. Like, you let him kill me. Like, it wasn't even that big deal. Like, I get it. But the Joker killed me, and what did you do? You threw him in fucking Arkham again.
Yeah.
You didn't even fucking, like, go after him.
You didn't kill him.
Like, how come? Like, I thought you cared about me. Like, anyone else, I get it, but that's me. We had this connection, I thought. And so he becomes the Red Hood.
Kind of darker.
Yeah, he uses guns and all his training from Batman. He becomes like an anti-hero, kind of like Deadpool, except not as funny.
I kind of feel like they miss an opportunity just to change it up a little bit. Because I'm thinking about Superman when they brought him back, and you're talking about how they he was just not like right. He's not the same. They kind of flirted with a little bit with Superman, like, and like he started fighting everybody. But I feel like
in that one, yeah.
in the movie, yeah, I feel like they could have went like a little deeper, like and made him like limp or something, and like or like give him a twitch or something. Like,
I feel like they did a better job of that in the comics because Superman was gone for a little bit, and in that time there was multiple different people who tried to replace Superman
because he was gone.
because he was gone, and they felt like someone needs to take up that mantle. And I think for a while there was even this fucking robot Superman.
That would have been cool.
Yeah,
they would have like, yeah, we tried it, and if like failed, like show him like showing up and
right,
yeah, messing things up or something like that. Yeah, that would have been.
And I think it was so they had him buried in that fucking coffin. And then somebody, I don't know the exact story, but at some point they fucking like shot him into the sun or something.
They just got rid of him.
Yeah. And that rejuvenated him because he was not technically dead. His body had put himself into a comatose state to make him survive.
They could have done something like that. Like he's always like he was like twitching around and like they're like, dude, you're not. We brought you back, but you're all messed up. And then they could have like had somebody like throw him at the sun or shoot a rocket at.
Yeah, and I guess because like
or a teleportation.
He was, and I don't remember him coming back in like the comic storyline coming back being all like fucking angsty and shit. I think he came back and he was fighting Supermans, and then people were like, "Who's the real Superman?"
Yeah,
who knows? And the robot Superman had like fucking sunglasses on.
That's awesome. Robot Superman sounds like the best.
he was different.
Yeah,
different for sure.
Yeah, I just feel like they missed it right there. That would probably be like something James Gunn would do. Like I think they were just talking to him about the new one.
They were supposed to, I don't know. Are they continuing on with a new Superman now?
Oh yeah. They got an actor.
They got rid of the other one, the black Superman though, right? Like
oh, you're talking about Black Adam?
No. They were supposed to be doing a black Superman, and I want to say that the person who was directing it was going to be, I could be wrong, but I think it was a bad robot guy. Cloverfield.
Oh, you're talking about he did Star Wars?
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name either.
He's like a really big director, and I can't think of his name. All I keep thinking about is James Gunn. And actually, I don't even know if I don't think he's directing the new Superman. I think somebody else is directing it, but James Gunn was just talking about it because he's like the overall kind of.
Let's see. J.J. Abrams.
Yes.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams. He was supposed to be doing that Superman film because, at some point.
What does it say? Let's put J.J. Abrams Superman.
Let's see.
See what it says, because I want to say they've been promoting the other one, but I haven't heard anything about that one.
Fucking ads. The fuck?
I know.
All right, let's see. I
can see a little bit of it.
Shit.
I was trying to read the screen from your glasses.
I can't see anything specific.
Nah. It might have just floated it out there.
Let me change my search. J.J. Abrams Superman.
While you're doing that, I'm just gonna mess around with Google. Hey Google.
I don't know. They might still have it.
Yeah. Let me see. Hey Google.
Okay. I guess James Gunn did say at one point, but this was back in January, so who knows, that they were still developing a black actor for Superman, which was supposed to be the J.J. Abrams one.
Did they have an actor already picked out or no? No, they're still probably in the writing phase of it, I guess.
Co-edited took threads to confirm that Abrams' Superman Elseworld film was still in development. So who knows? It says that it's still in development, but that doesn't mean that they've started filming. And if they don't start filming, it can easily
these
fall
projects
apart.
get shelved all the time.
And I liked the idea of what DC and Warner Brothers were going to do with them. So after Man of Steel and the Justice League and all the Snyder stuff, what they planned on doing was allowing films to be made of the characters consecutively. So they were doing what's called Elseworld, right? In DC, it's like the multiverse. So it's like a different version of with a different such and such. Yeah. So that's why when the who the fuck is that Twilight dude? I'm so bad with names right now. Pattinson. Robert.
Yeah.
When Robert's Batman came out, people were like, why are they doing another Batman? Don't we have a Ben Affleck Batman? What's going on, Batman? Well, he's not part of that same universe. He's his own thing, Yeah. And they were supposed to do more of that. And that's why we were going to get a different Superman, and they can explore all these other stuff. Because if you dig deep into comics, you'll find that there are different variations of all the superheroes throughout time and shit. And even sometimes there's superheroes that run under the same fucking name, but they're not even the same person, but they're in the same continuity and the same universe. Like, for example, Spider-Man. There was a long time where the Spider-Man who was there was not Spider-Man, but he was a clone of Spider-Man who did not know he was a clone of Spider-Man until Spider-Man came back and was like, I'm Spider-Man. He's like, no, I'm Spider-Man. And then he had a mental fucking breakdown.
The clone?
Yeah, his name is Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he was Spider-Man for a bit before he wasn't. And so he had a fucking identity crisis.
They're moving on with that Spider Noir with Nicolas Cage.
Yes, I've seen some stuff with it, and it's kind of surprising to me. I think I've said it before, but Nicolas Cage has always said, like, I won't do shows. I don't care how good they're coming out. I'm a movie actor, but this is a fucking Amazon Prime show.
It's gonna be big.
I'm excited for
Amazon's doing some big shows. Like,
now, at the same time, I recall from Spider-Man Noir, I don't remember him having the same ability to web swing like that. His stuff was more of like detective, like actual like old school noir type movies and shit. Like, he would use webs to hide in places, but he wasn't like swinging across New York, because I think at that time, there was high-rise buildings, skyscrapers, but I think the tallest one was the Empire State Building, and that was an anomaly.
I think this can be huge, man, especially like a set period, like 1920s?
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
They show him on top of an old car, those old 1920 cars, and he's just kind of straddling it. Like, he's probably chasing some bad guys or something. Like, you create a whole city, like the black and white and like the crime fighting and the accents and the, the bootlegging and, everything that was going on at that time. Like, it could be a really, really, I bet you they did some cuts or showed him some stuff for what they could do, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm in. Like, I bet you they're gonna make it cool, man. I think it's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
And you got Nicolas Cage, who is the professional of the professionals, like he's legit. Give him whatever script, he'll kill it. Like, this is what he does.
All right, so here is the Roaring Twenties Manhattan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you can see that, there might be some places for him to swing and shit, but not as much as the current Spider-Man.
Okay.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I just clicked somewhere.
No. It flipped for a second, but yeah, I see.
All right.
So lowers buildings.
Yes, and that's fine, because his character, again, is supposed to be like detective, fight the crime, find out stuff.
A little bit more dark and
gritty.
Yeah, the grittiness.
Like fucking monologues to himself and shit.
Yeah, he's gonna just wake up and it's gonna be like raining and he's gonna be like, yeah.
It was a day like no other.
Yeah.
Hot day.
Kind of like how they
the
did
windows open
on
New York City's breeze.
Sin City.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They're probably like,
and that's the idea.
Yeah,
of
dark
Spider-Man
Sin
Noir.
City. Just he's laying in a bed. He's not talking, but he's monologuing, like long monologues. Like give Nicolas Cage the longest one, he'll do it. Like.
And so I'm interested in that. Nicolas Cage is a fantastic actor for what it's worth. Some people think he's a little weird. I agree, he's weird, but he's great.
I think you have to be weird to.
You know what? I would love, and we got a glimpse of it once, but I would love to see him play Superman.
Like a Nicolas Cage Superman.
Yeah, that was supposed to happen
With Tim Burton.
Mm-hmm.
I think they yeah.
Do you remember seeing the suit for that?
I saw him testing the suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like Tim Burton's movies. I mean,
if anybody is interested in it, there is a documentary about that movie being in development, getting made, starting like production, and then being canceled.
Yeah.
But Nicolas Cage as Superman back in that time, was it like 95, 94 or something?
Oh, yeah, he was at the height of his...
Yeah. I mean, we look at it now and be like, Nicolas Cage Superman. And then with Tim Burton...
he did
it was
Batman.
going to be so cool. Imagine that, man. If they would have kept going with that, we would have ended up with a Tim Burton fucking crossover Justice League, maybe.
It would have been good, but
that would have been crazy.
I think now it's even better, because now you have all the extra computer graphics and all the things you can do now.
Yeah, that's true. Like, there's so much they can do now that they wouldn't have been able to do back then. But I still feel like for what it is and what it was, that kind of like puppetry and makeup and costumes and stuff that they did, and a lot of the things that they did to create those effects for stuff, it's just so cool to see the actual work that's not like green screen and shit.
And that's a good point, because Tim Burton has a really genius way of creating a world.
Yes, he sees things differently.
And it's real.
Mm-hmm.
He likes making the real world, like the Edward Scissorhand world of all the bushes that were trimmed into dinosaurs, and and he had all the houses painted a certain way, and like he created this whole world.
It's like fucking Wes Anderson.
Yeah, he's more artistic too.
Right,
with his
he's got a style, and you can see it.
But I was watching Batman 2 with Penguin. And even like the Penguin's whole layer.
And that's the one I'm thinking of. Think about like that where he's like fucking eating, he's got that fucking shit coming out of his mouth. Fucking Danny DeVito, man.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
He's
amazing.
Beast of an actor. But Tim Burton it's actually better when it's real. Like that's what they were talking to the director of Alien Romulus. That's why I kept telling people to watch. I was like, you guys got to watch it in the theater, because he used real animatronics. Like the face hugger he had a bunch of them built to run on the ground, and the actors had to really, and he even had ones launching at them when they were in certain rooms and stuff like that. And it was real. It's not. And there's something about, we can still tell, like our vision and our acuity, we can still tell real and CGI. So when it's real, it gives you another layer of, oh, whoa, holy shit.
And there's so many like things like that just feel different when you're watching them. And it's like real puppetry and some shit like that.
Yeah, I think there's still an aspect, and then with the HD and everything, it makes it look cooler. And then they can kind of like smooth the edges on it on some of the shots a little bit, but they don't have to do a lot to it, So it's still real, and it's just all lighting and other kind of effects that they're doing. I think the only thing they had was I won't say it because it'll kind of spoil a little part of it that is kind of cool if you haven't seen it. So. It's coming out on VHS, which is kind of cool. I don't know why, but They're
Really?
yeah. I think.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I do remember seeing that they will be releasing it
Yeah.
on VHS.
They haven't
and
released
isn't
the
it gonna
price.
be like a 2 VHS thing? I think it's
So their thought process is the original Alien was in '79, which was a tape,
and the trilogy for that is
and
all
this
in tape.
follows the original Alien. So this is actually the second one, because in the timeline of Alien, the Alien,
Yeah, because you go
fucking
Alien, and then the second movie was called
Aliens.
Aliens.
But this actually follows right after Alien. So Aliens was actually like, I don't know how many. Somebody broke down the whole timeline of where it
Where
was.
everything falls in
Yeah.
with Prometheus.
And dude, they're talking about doing another a movie after Romulus. So like another one.
Well, of
before.
course they're gonna have to because it did.
It
well.
was such a good story. Like I want everybody should watch it. But
I do plan on watching it. I just need to convince Crystal to because I want to watch all of them again.
watch
Like,
as long
Alien
as you
was
watch
the movie.
the first one.
I had a teacher in college who fucking loved Alien. He said that movie, those two movies were great. They were amazing.
They are.
And as far as like filmmaking goes, they're near perfect in his opinion.
When I was a kid, I always loved Aliens. That was my favorite. And it was
That's the one I think he was saying was the best. And
That's
then
James Cameron.
he was like, and then they should have stopped there.
They could have for sure. But I mean, you had who was the director for Aliens 3? David Finch. You had David Finch doing Aliens 3. I mean, come on, David Finch is also another genius of a director, and he brought his own feel to the Alien series. You had a lot of like chase scenes where he was right behind the actor when they were running, and it looks so gnarly if you watch that movie. And then he built a whole space prison. He had to build a whole space prison that's never existed. You know, so like he definitely built a whole world to the end. We talked about it before, how he was trying to make a dog actually run with the suit on.
Oh yeah, and it looked stupid as fuck.
But you see what he was trying to do.
Have you seen that footage though?
Yeah. I saw it. It looked like a dog running,
and a fucking dog.
And then the dog's trying to move. You know, he doesn't want the stupid alien head on his head. You know, so you can only get an animal.
We can get it for like 5 seconds, and then the dogs just flip it off.
Yeah, because he's a dog. He doesn't want to wear.
Nope.
Yeah, you can't talk to him and be like, all right, man, just, you know, he's not a kid. You can talk a kid. Oh, you know, that's another, this is a little behind the scenes for Ridley Scott's Alien. So when he made it originally, you know, it didn't have a huge budget. It's obviously the first in the series. So they only give you.
And at the time, when you talked Alien or Aliens, you're not thinking of this fucking crazy ass acid dripping monster, you know?
Yeah. So on the set, they built the engineer in the engineer seat.
Yes.
So there's a scene where you see him, or you see him facing this kind of machine, and he's sitting in a like kind of cockpit. But in order, they could only make it so big.
Yes.
So what they did was they hired kid actors to walk in the suits to make the aspect ratio look even bigger. So there's a shot in Alien when you see the astronaut or the guys walking onto the area when they find the ship, and those are kids.
Oh.
So that's a little tidbit when you watch it again. You're like, oh, that does look like a kid walking, because
child.
Yeah, he does kind of
wobbles.
Now that I know, I'm like, oh yeah, it does. It looks like a little. And they had
that's interesting too, because usually in situations like that, they will do forced perspective.
Yeah,
but I guess it wouldn't work for that scene very well.
It would probably be more difficult, but
yeah,
it also kind of works the way he did it, because he just changed aspect ratio. I mean, if you put whatever you're looking at on the screen, you have markers to show you how big things are. So if you truncate the person, then the image looks bigger if you think it's an adult.
Yeah.
So depending on how far away you are and everything like that. So it's kind of like how they had it.
I mean, I guess it still is forced perspective, but
yeah,
this time you're
shrinking the
kid look like an adult.
Yeah, you're shrinking the actor. Yeah. I don't know. All these little like movie behind the scenes stuff. Like there's a whole thing. I think we talked about it before. Elf, how they
Oh yeah, that's forced perspective example.
yeah, and they didn't know how to do it. Like the director knew he wanted to do that, but he didn't know how. So he had to go find like an old director from old movies where they didn't have CGI and computers. They had to use
Yeah, I think who really did it the best, or who it comes up most for when you talk about forced perspective and the history of it and filmmaking, is Charlie Chaplin. He
yeah.
did a lot of that kind of stuff. Like there's this famous scene that he did in one of his movies where he's like walking on a plank over like this really high thing and fumbling around and shit. And it's like,
Yeah.
is he gonna fall down there? How do you do that? Well, it's because he's the plank isn't going over anything. It's just all perspective. Like you just move the camera a certain
Yeah.
way, the frame attaches, and he did it in a very creative way. He's a lot of people see Charlie Chaplin and they just think immediately of a fucking,
Goofball or whatever.
goofball, little,
Slapstick.
yeah, dirty little street peasant guy. But
They had to be real creative.
Charlie Chaplin, actor, director, producer guy, he did a lot. And he moved the industry forward a lot too. And it was very interesting too, because when they started adding sound to movies, he was like, well, my whole fucking thing with this character is that he can't like
He
talk.
doesn't talk. He doesn't need to.
So how do we do that without making him talk?
Yeah,
Like
a silent actor.
Interact with things, So there's one movie where I can't remember all of it right now, but I think he's with someone who's blind.
So
and
he's not talking and the guy can't see.
Yes. No, I think it was a woman. It was like a pretty woman or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just find all that stuff interesting because I don't know if it was like behind the scenes, like a DVD bonus or something, or if it was a documentary, but they were showing Will Ferrell sit on the thing. Like if you looked at it from straight ahead, it just looked like Will Ferrell was bigger than everyone else. But then when they showed you the side view of everything, Will Ferrell was sitting really far back, and they were sitting in front of him like this. And then when the shot comes together, it looks like he's a lot bigger than
Right.
So they were doing stuff like that, and yeah, the director.
And that's the way.
But it made it real.
Yeah.
So you don't have any computer generated images. Oh, that was what's his name? The guy that's in all the new Spider-Mans. Farvo?
Fucking shit.
Yeah.
Fargo.
What's his name? John? No, not John.
John. Favreau.
Yeah.
Favreau.
See? I was close, man. I was really close. Yeah. Yeah, he's the one that directed Elf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he was the one talking about it. But yeah, I just liked all that kind of stuff. And
Agreed.
I like that even this newer generation of directors are still wanting the realness. Like I think that's what connects people still to this day with these movies, and it's awesome. We just went a whole down. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, I know.
To get back to Black Panther though. So this is he can control the undead. He can summon an undead army, is what they were saying. He can also speak to ghost, and he can be controlled. He can be mind controlled. He's impervious to mind control. Is what the 3 different abilities that they said they left out on Black Panther, that was a huge kind of like they could have really did a lot with some of that. Like imagine in the first Black Panther, he just summons this undead army.
And that's
like that would have been crazy.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that they struggle with too when they take these heroes and make tangent stories with them and stuff.
Yeah,
is because there's certain heroes where they're written with specific powers and stuff, and then you try to pair them together with someone else, and it's like, how do they even fucking compete?
Yeah.
How do you keep these two on the same fucking level?
Yeah,
You know?
actually, the person I was talking said that the powers are unbalanced. They don't
Yes.
have the right balance in the MCU. Like, so that's why they think they limited some of his powers because it would have made him too powerful.
Like that's why the Hulk wasn't in Civil War or Thor. You know?
Because he's too strong.
Yeah, because if they came in, it's like, well, Malcolm McKinn just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but think about Endgame. What if T'Challa just summoned this undead army and they're fighting? That would have been awesome, dude. Like, would have been like a Jack Sparrow, like the first
since we're
Pirates.
Sorry.
Yeah, the
I was
first
just
Pirates of the
thinking out loud.
Caribbean.
But since we're in like talking about Marvel and to piece it together with the whole Halloween horror theme that we've been doing here with movies and shit.
Undead.
I know, undead, aliens, and all that. But have you seen any of Agatha All Along?
No.
You have not.
I've heard about the Agatha. That's on Disney, right? Agatha?
Yes.
But I
and
haven't seen
with
it.
that, they have now introduced officially to the MCU a character that has always been there, but we'd never seen before. Lady Death.
Okay.
So Lady Death has made an appearance. That's kind of a spoiler. I won't get into any more in case anybody's trying to watch it.
Yeah.
But a little history on Lady Death. She is... Thanos loves Lady Death. One of the reasons in the comics and stuff that he was trying to wipe out half the universe was to give those souls to Lady Death so that he can court her and shit. And Lady Death is in love with one specific Marvel character.
Hulk. Just kidding.
Take a guess though. Take three.
Okay.
Take three. If you could think of who would Lady Death have the best relationship with?
Maybe Doctor Strange.
No.
Because he's kind of funky. He does some funky spells.
Because Lady Death is death in the Marvel universe. She is the embodiment of death. She is the spiritualness of death. She is death.
Okay, someone that likes dead shit.
Well, not even like going that far, but she'll like, when death comes for you, that's her.
Okay. So she's
doesn't matter the religion,
she's like a
context, she is death.
Grim Reaper.
Right. Except they made her a woman.
In
the comics, they make her pretty hot.
She doesn't have a sigh or anything?
No.
That'd be too much, huh?
Yeah.
Let me see. I mean, in my limited knowledge, I'm trying to think of my Marvel poster that I used to have as a kid.
The one with like all of the. I had one of those too, man.
I had it on my wall, and I'm trying to think of anybody. I can't think of anybody though. Like anybody cool enough.
So you made how many guesses so far? You did
Iron Man. I'll say Iron Man.
Iron Man. No. What were your other guesses?
I said Hulk first.
Hulk.
Remember? And
no.
Doctor
Hulk.
Strange. Doctor Strange is my best guess, really.
When I say this, it might make a lot of sense to you.
Okay.
Deadpool.
Oh, he's pretty dark.
It has nothing to do with that, though.
But, I mean, you have to be a little dark to like dark,
Here's the reason. Is because Deadpool, it's not that he can't die. Deadpool dies all the time.
Yeah, I think we talked about this.
He regenerates back to life. He's cursed.
Well, he's always dead, technically.
Well, the reason why is actually... I believe it was Thanos cursed him or some shit, or made a deal to get him cursed like that. So instead of just rapid regeneration or just overall regeneration, he's cursed to not die. So he dies, but then he always comes back to life. So he has had the most interaction with Lady Death because he's always escaping her unwillingly. So he sees her, they form a relationship, and then... Oh, man.
You know what? I would like to actually see more of that because they do.
Well, that's what's exciting. Now that we have Deadpool in the Marvel canon and Lady Death in the Marvel canon, maybe we might see a Deadpool meets Lady Death type thing.
Well, that's what I was going to say. they kind of tease you because remember when he keeps killing himself, he's killing himself so he can go talk to his girlfriend. Remember? Because he wants to die.
Yeah, and they couldn't do that. And I think that they wanted to make her that.
He keeps going to that realm.
Yeah.
And what if they do it now with Lady Death and they switch it like he's always been talking to her? You know, they could do something like that. Like he was never talking to his girlfriend.
Fuck with his head.
He was always talking to her, and she's like, "I've been the one that you've been trying to reach," or something like that. And he's
interesting.
Yeah, they could do a flip, but he keeps going back down that realm, and they show him.
I don't know the way that they have casted Lady Death, though, and what I've seen so far of the character.
Yeah,
she's very, very much a chaotic soul, so very maliciously chaotic.
Yeah, so they can kind of show her, just having that alter ego when he meets her every time, but she's trying to control him, and they could use this whole narrative of like she's been trying to control him this whole time, and Tim telling him things every time he dies, like stuff like that, like because he's visiting somebody, but maybe he doesn't know who he thinks he's visiting, relatives or family or other people, but he's actually visiting her. Like she's just using other people that have passed away in his life.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because he dies all the time.
Oh, yeah. He's constantly dying.
Yeah, so he's constantly going back to this realm. So yeah, they could do definitely because they're gonna do more Deadpools. I mean, they got wolves now in the whole thing, so they might even spin off with him. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting where they go next with this whole franchise. But it's way too big, man. I got the 4K. I was hoping I got Wolverine, but I got Deadpool, which is fine. I'm not going to try and collect.
Oh, that's right, because he had to...
The Steelbook, you can get either a Steelbook of Deadpool or a Steelbook of Wolverine, and then it even tells you collect them all or collect both of them or something. It's like already hinting, like, buy them both. I was like, nah, whatever I get, I'm going to get. So I got Deadpool, which is fine. Wolverine's is still on the cover. He's just not prominent.
Right.
It would be cool to get both because then they'll look at each other. I think that's what they're trying to sell you on. So you can probably put them side by side, and that both characters are kind of looking at each other and putting their head together or something like that. Because he's kind of on the edge too. So
yeah, I mean that was the whole thing with how they did the little fucking friendship heart thing.
Yeah, I know.
I mean those are pretty cool. I knew a couple people that got them, or I saw some people with them.
I saw it at AMC, and I'm so stupid. I could have got them. Because all you needed to do was pre-buy the ticket. If you pre-buy the ticket, they'll give you a coin, and then you can put it in the machine
and get one.
And I'm so dumb because I could have just did it, and then even if I didn't want to watch, I could have canceled the ticket or something. Like if I ended up go watch it somewhere else.
And I think now they have like knockoffs and shit, but
yeah, you could probably go online, but
you can get some somewhere. But yeah, it would have been cool to.
Yeah, because I was there. I was actually in front of the machine. I was like, how do you put money in this thing? And then like I went and asked the front counter, like, oh, you got to pre-buy a ticket. And once you pre-buy a ticket, we give you the coin. Then you put it in the machine. I was like, oh. And then it was funny because I was standing there talking to them for a while. And then someone's like, how do you put money in the machine? Like, I bet they've been getting that stupid question all day.
Probably. They should probably just print out a sign right there.
Yeah, just put a sign
for pre-sale customers only.
Yeah, pre-buy ticket, or they could have easily like got rid of like 1,000 questions they get a day.
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny, but yeah, where are we at, man? I feel like we did it,
man. Dude. We're over an hour.
Yeah,
we did it.
Fucking did it, dude.
Halloween special in the bag.
Well, you can push the button.
I don't remember which one it is.
It's the top yellow one.
Air horn it up.
This has been Digital Cortex.
Oh yeah, I got my mask too. I forgot. I got my button. Where's my button? Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Digital Cortex.
Whoa.
Brought to you by Halloween.
I'm biting my mic.
Oh, dude, that's weird. All right. Well, this has been another great episode of Digital Cortex. I'm ThicccWick. That's Randomstylez. And out.
Later.